only baby what I say. Here comes Johnny singing, I got a woman down in the tunnel trying to make it pay. He got the action, he got the motion. Oh yeah, the boy can play. Dedication, devotion, turning all the nighttime into the day. Do the song about the sweet love and love. They do the song about the night. Really do the walk all night. Yeah, you do the walk all night.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Put On the Armor. This is episode 4, and we're glad to be back. Last week's convo was pretty interesting regarding the relationship between a daughter and a father. I felt like it was really important to touch on, and it was awesome bringing our sister along to kind of break it down for us and, point out the most important aspects of a relationship between a daughter and her father and why it's so needed in today's day and age. Glad to be back. Wow. A lot happened this week. First up, we had the Trump inauguration.
Oh yeah, I actually filmed that, but
You filmed that?
yeah, I filmed it actually. I would say like to make sure if anything happened, I got the tape.
Yeah. There was a lot of scare. They've tried to take Trump out a couple of times, so there was a lot of fear behind that. But yeah, everything went smoothly. But oh my goodness, was there a lot of tension because I feel folks themselves, they genuinely, the Republicans and the Patriots or what have you, they are kind of surprised that it actually went pretty smoothly, almost to the point of like it was too smooth, like it was too easy, you know. But I suppose it kind of makes sense given what has transpired the past couple of months in regard to Trump's his life being at risk. But yeah, everything went smoothly. He got inaugurated. People were talking about how he didn't put his hand on the Bible or whatnot.
Oh, I didn't actually.
He did.
I never noticed actually because I didn't get to that point when I was filming on the TV.
Oh, really?
No.
No, he didn't put his hand on the Bible. For me personally, I didn't really care about that. I don't know. I mean, rightful thing to do if anyone who actually, if you go through the scriptures, it's not to swear under oath or put your hand on the Bible. So I don't know who told Trump not to do that, but whoever did, I don't know. He did a decent job. But hey, that went well, I suppose. Executive orders afterwards were being signed. I think he did an executive order signing first publicly and then, at the Oval Office, which was quite interesting. Boy, oh boy, was there a lot of things that were signed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he got into office and he was writer. I mean, he was signing like his life depended on it.
See,
It was a lot to
bro had a lot of things to get out on the table.
That's he sure did. Yeah, I mean we won't go over them, but I think it was like almost 70 something to 80 something executive orders signed, which is insane. I think is the most a president has ever signed at a setting. So that was pretty wild. And yeah, I don't know if you came across the Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, it took me a while to actually see the video in the end.
Really?
Yeah, actually.
The scandal that took place with the hands gesture, it was giving the heart out. Yeah, giving the heart out. I feel like, if you're giving a heart out, why don't you just send an emoji or something? Like, I don't know why you would have to use. He knew what he was doing. I mean, nah, anyways. I feel, you know what it seemed like?
What?
It seemed like he had a bet with someone, with Jake Paul or Logan Paul, because they were there too live, right? It seemed like he had a bet with them. It was like, hey, I bet you can do that. Or I bet you I can. And he just went up there and was like, psych, and actually did it. And the Logan brothers were like, "Oh my days, I cannot believe he actually did it." That's literally how it felt. That's literally how it felt. It was just, bro, really? I have never seen anyone who's done a or given a heart out like that. First off, no, if you're giving a heart out, you use two hands. Like everyone knows it's a two-hand thing. Don't let me start with this topic because that is ridiculous. Absolutely insane. But yeah, some people are justifying the movement, saying it's given a heart sign. It's been used for centuries. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I suppose Adolphe was giving his heart out too and taking hearts out. Anyway, moving on. Okay. Well, the TikTok ban was lifted up.
I think I heard it was like it was like banned for 18 hours, I think. And I got
18 hours?
Yeah, only.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Okay, time's up. Now get out.
Not even 24 hours?
No, I think it was actually 18 hours. I think so.
Nothing lasted longer than the was done for, but it's interesting, when it was first announced that TikTok was gonna have a ban, was gonna be banned, and how everyone was in panic mode because people have basically created a career on that platform, and for some it was devastating. Well, for some, I mean, the general collective being the States, yeah, because that's where it was banned. But yeah, it got lifted, and hooray, I suppose. Although Trump did mention that um, the Chinese CEO has, I think, 78 days to come up with a US buyer to invest in on TikTok. So we'll see how that plays out. Elon Hitler, bro, said that he's going to resurrect Vine. I don't know if you know Vine. Do you know Vine?
Yeah, actually, I remember actually people using Vine back was it like in second or third grade? Yeah, exactly. Because I remember it so.
Really?
Yeah, actually, before TikTok came along,
Wow, but yeah,
people were actually using it before TikTok came along, bro. Like, people were using it like.
to upload videos and funny memes and whatnot. I mean,
Bro.
Vine was, you can say, the granddaddy of TikTok and Reels and what have you. Yeah, he said he will be bringing back Vine to life. We'll see how that plays out.
Who, Elon Musk, right?
Yeah, Elon Musk has
Ah, he
that.
probably sent that to Y instead of X.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Yeah. But man, I heard news that was really quite interesting. How it's a huge iceberg, the size of 5 New York cities, headed on a collision with a British island called Georgia. Now, on that island in particular, it has wildlife, sea lions, penguins, and a lot of penguins, actually, like a lot. So the image, it's a lot. It's quite populated, one could say. So, but what the scientists estimated is like before it reaches there, though, it's kind of dispersed due to the it being on water, and it's probably going to melt off, so it won't have any huge impact on the island. But it's pretty wild. It's such a massive iceberg that literally kind of cut off from the Antarctic sea. But yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I was at the supermarket, yeah, and I was observing this, and I found it pretty interesting, and it got me thinking. I watched the employees, the way they were interacting with one another, and I was thinking, wow, how, I mean, it's not the best of jobs, right? But it's the way they enjoyed one another's company got me thinking, like, people, because each and every single day, not everyone who wakes up in the morning gets up from bed, um, brushes your teeth, get their coffee, get up, get to your car, and drive to work, are always happy with the job that they're stepping into each and every single morning or clocking into each and every single morning. Um, I say that because we see it every day how people get depressed, sad, and just like unfulfilled, and just feel the pressure of like, they have to just do this because this is how they can pay their rent.
That's how I feel like most Greek teachers are, for example. Like, I had like this teacher that like always came in, like just wanted to like finish the class super fast. Like,
Yeah,
she just came in like, okay, this, that. Like, she never like went in deep to like with its students, like
really.
expanded the conversation. Yeah, she just like went, okay, let's do this, and actually just wiped out the board and I was like, bruh, I never got to write that thing almost. Like, she always spoke so fast too.
Really?
Like, yeah, she spoke, and that's like,
Wow.
it was the most important lessons too. That's like we had her in, like for example, the Greek languages, and like she always spoke like super fast, and like just like left it there.
What?
And like continued the next day, and like it was basically like in a loop, like in an endless loop.
Each and every single day.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
She never like enjoyed her job or anything like that. That's how I felt like.
Wow, yeah. Yeah. It's the same thing too. I remember my Swedish teacher, she goes, "Hey, you know what? Whether y'all want to learn or not, at the end of the day, my pay, I'm still getting paid. I'm still getting my money in my bank account. So at the end of the day, it's your call." And it got me thinking when I saw the interaction, it was like, man, people really don't like their job, but they're forced to do it each and every single day, to pay rent and to do what they got to do to sustain themselves or their families. Yep, right? Yeah. But then again, on the flip side, there is this part of the job where it's like, despite it being underpaid or not life fulfilling and whatnot, is it the fact that the people that you're at work with actually make it bearable for you to actually, be there and just enjoy being there because the interactions that you make, kind of brightens up your day and just makes it, yeah, basically bearable for you to actually go through the um 9 to 5. And it was interesting because people, man, people go through this each and every single day, and it can be quite lonely. It can be quite a lonely road for some because, like, well, I mean, I'm here, I'm doing what I gotta do, and at the end of the day, I'll clock out, and that's it. Tomorrow, the next thing, and over and over and over again. So, what I'm getting at is it the environment? Is it the environment that makes people hate the job that they're at, or is it the fact that people interact with having interactions with their coworkers make it much more bearable for you to actually be there? And I think it's that's the thing. No matter how underpaid it is, you know, the group of people that is there can make or break the way you feel about that environment. I feel like so if you have like a messed up boss, who's always nagging and always on your neck and whatnot, it's gonna be like, yeah, unbearable, and it's gonna like uh emotionally and psychologically break you down, and it's rough. It can be pretty rough for folks. But yeah, if you're surrounded with people who are kind, genuine, and just treat you with appreciation and respect,
Yeah.
even if the job is on underpaid or it's not, again, life fulfilling and whatnot, it still makes it bearable. You wake up in the morning with a sense of joy, excitement, and you can't wait. It's almost as if you can't actually wait to be there. right? And it's beautiful. It was beautiful. That's one of the things I observed. I just looked at that and I was like, man, it's really interesting. It's really interesting.
Like there was this time in Sweden where I had like it's called like prao.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Where
so-
you basically
As a student, you basically like have the opportunity to like choose a job you want to do.
on the summertime.
No, it wasn't like in the summertime. It was actually like during
Oh.
school time. But like, I chose to be to work as a teacher because like
Okay,
it is the closest thing. Like yeah.
by the way,
far away.
at the time, yeah.
So I worked as a teacher for like a day.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually like not such a bad feeling, but like the kids, bro, like
Unbearable.
nah, like they. I cannot believe y'all left the house with this kind of manners. I understand the feeling that some teachers have, like coming to work every day, like
Yeah,
seeing the kids are like so like they have too much energy out of those days. Like it's like
wow.
kind of like it's in a way it's like a nice thing, but like sometimes you just don't have the appetite to
Oh, you don't. Yeah, you don't have the energy to
exactly.
to
You don't have the energy to
kind of like be with the kids.
yeah
Try to like get them to understand because it's just so much going on. It's like because at the end of the day, you're there to teach them, right? But if
exactly.
they're not sitting down to like want to learn, then it makes your job way more difficult because nothing gets across.
Mm.
Yeah. Man, I know they say charity begins at home, but sometimes some kids are really, I don't know, their parents really didn't.
Raise their price.
It's not just only raising right, but just not. They didn't have enough emphasis in the idea of like you're going to this place where you're gonna meet other kids and you have to stay focused on one another. Obviously, there are kids who have like difficulties learning and what have you, right? You have kids with different kind of learning process. So every kid differs, but man, for the most part, you have to definitely have your composure as a tutor because it can be rough. It definitely can be rough. It definitely can be rough. But with that being said, though, that's why again, if an opportunity comes your way, if a great opportunity comes your way, finally you get that big break. Your number gets called up. You're stepping into that new level that you always wanted to be in, or it's not necessarily because sometimes not a lot of people want to be promoted or what have you. But it kind of happens because you put in the work and you have been disciplined in what you do and you're good at what you do, right? And so rightfully you get that promotion.
Like our sister.
Yep, exactly. So that's the case. That's why people need to be able to be confident enough to accept those roles and not to stare away from it or like fear of getting to a new stage in life and being like, wow, am I good enough? You are good enough. You have been working. You deserve this. You deserve this, and you need to forge ahead and not to be scared of what's to come. Now, surely it's you're in a situation where it's from known to unknown. It's a different position. You know, maybe it's much more responsibilities, but your boss has seen that he could actually be confident in your abilities. So they're like, you know what? You deserve a promotion. It's important for folks because I feel that I've seen cases where people get that big promotion, but my goodness, are they scared? They're like, I'm just okay being here. I mean, all this stuff.
I can come up like for example me. I got a promotion like for a basketball team.
Yeah,
I was like in Anticoubris Academy, like a team in Greece here.
yeah.
And I like the academy I got the like promotion to continue to another like an actual team that we play matches like, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice, because I didn't know like all that, but I'm like, okay, this is nice.
Yeah.
And like I got to be with the team, and like day in, I like it's like the mindset I had to like try and put myself in.
Yeah.
It's like I'm good enough. Like this is not that bad. Like
Mhm.
I can actually like continue with this, because like I really needed motivation to continue in the team.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like easy at all.
To transition to the actual club where
Exactly.
yeah, because it's that's the thing, right? It's the responsibility that now you realize, oh snap, like I'm actually at a level where my expertise are really needed, and now I have to step up my game and be efficient and be much more confident than where I am, and that's than what I previously was, and that's the thing. It's important to embrace moments such as these because, again, it's earned, not given, right?
Yeah.
So the best you could do is, this as a human being, know that this is a next stage in your life. Sure, there may be much more responsibilities, but believe in yourself, trust in your abilities, and just go for it. This is, and again, I mean, you're getting paid, okay? Let's just, okay, at the end of the day, you're getting good pay. So just stay confident and believe in yourself. That's the thing. I feel like it's really, really important to not be fearful for the next stage, for your next stage in life. And no matter what the case may be, doesn't have to only be regulated just to work. Whatever the case may be, relationships, partnerships, business partnerships, um, just be confident in the next stage of your life and believe in yourself, believe in the abilities that you own, and go for it. It's a great opportunity. So, yeah. But the fear of an actual God, I feel, frightens people. The fear of an actual God, like an existence of a deity. You mean to tell me that there is actually a creator of everything that we see? How, wait, so let me get this straight. Everything that we are, everything that we have come across in this life, there is actually a creative hand behind all this. So, because think about this, if a- if an if the idea of a existing God is true, then that means automatically there's consequences. Yep. And boy, do people do not like consequences. Because, like, think about this, right? Wait, hold on a second. Wait. So, I'm actually going to answer for the things that I've committed on this, but I didn't know. I didn't know any better. Oh, well, I mean, it does say in the scriptures that, the word of God will have to go to all four corners of the earth. One way or the other, people will come across the word of God, just like we're doing right now. And at some point, it's left for you to go and research and actually try to invest a little time in it and understanding who this God is, what his precepts are, and what he seeks from humanity. Now, someone would say, well, there's multiple gods, so which one should we believe in? I mean, there's all these gods. You got the Hindu gods, you got the Nordic gods, you got what New Age belief system. You got Muslims. Which God? You got of course the Christian one, but which God do you want us to believe in? And my personal response would be, I mean, well, go for the one who gives you life everlasting. Go for the one who says, do not be afraid of man who can kill the flesh, but instead fear the one who can kill the flesh and the spirit and cast it into fire. Right?
Yep.
So, it's important to understand that with this God, there is life everlasting, right? And again, you have to go back in history, because I feel like history is the best teacher for us to understand what's going on in the present, right? So you have to go back to the past in order to understand the present and in order to identify what might transpire in the future, right? So going back in time, you have to look at the person who presumably died on the cross, right? Was buried, had a brutal death, one of the most brutal deaths you could ever encounter, right?
Yep.
Documented. And guess what? They buried this person. But what happened? On the third day, he rose again. This is documented by who? By who, though, Adrian? Like, what are you, okay, this stuff happened. Okay, by who? Matthew, Luke, John, and Mark. Right? These people literally ate with Christ, dined with him, walked with him, was chosen by him. These people, and mind you, this apostles, they had regular jobs. Some were fishermen, some were accountants, some were lawyers, some were mathematicians,
Yep.
So, but they all left all that to follow him. Why? Because he was the one who promised them life everlasting, right? Teaching the kingdom. Now, not to say, oh, okay, so what do? We will just leave our careers. It's not about that. Just leave your career and just go in the wilderness or whatnot. But it's the idea of understanding that there is a creator of all things, and that's why at the end of the day, whether people want to admit it or not, at the end of the day, people will understand that whatever encounters that happens in their personal life, that is either negative, positive, it all has a spiritual connotation behind it. It all has a spiritual connotation behind it. And that's why you need to lean on the positive spirit who promises eternal life. And not just eternal life, but peace with that life as well. Perfect peace. That's why he's called the Prince of Peace, because throughout all the headaches, and the motion of the world, the pressure, when you go to his word, when you listen to his word, you're able to have this peace that you can't really understand, and you can't really comprehend. And then you all of a sudden have this hedge of protection over your life, your family's life, your friend's life. Why? Because you've prayed for them, for their protection. And that's the thing too. That's why people say, okay, well, if God is real, why don't he just show himself? Once upon a time, he did to the people, but as people sinned more and more, that separation took place. But when Christ came back, when he came in the flesh to redeem humanity through the cross, he kind of bridged that gap a bit with the blood, right? Because the blood was a purification for the sins of the world, because if God handled us the way we have been acting throughout the years, I don't think humanity would be in existence at all. But it's through patience that he's able to guide us and protect us from harm. It's through his grace. So that's why I feel it's genuinely important to lean towards understanding the word of God, so you can be able to have the perfect peace in your day-to-day life. So that's just what I wanted to touch on. I felt like it was important to mention, because sometimes a lot of things may be going on in people's lives and they don't understand why it's going on. You just, again, in order for you to understand the things that are hard to understand, the spiritual aspect of things, you have to tap into the one who created all things spiritual and non-spiritual. So
But people will be asking sometimes, how do you do that? So
yeah, exactly. How do I start? Or the fear, or the fear of, like, they have done, they feel as though they've done some horrendous stuff, and I just want to put that in brackets. I want people to understand one thing, right? The things that you've committed on this earth is not so far gone that God cannot look upon you with mercy and deliver you and heal your heart and bring you into reconciliation with Him. I just want that to be very, very clear. And God is not going to punish anyone for something that they don't know of, right? Let's say somehow, some way it happens, right? And someone didn't hear about the gospel. Someone didn't come across God, right? It doesn't mean that God is going to send them to hell. Or it doesn't mean that, oh, okay, they didn't follow this doctrine or that doctrine, they're going to go to eternal damnation. No, that's not how it works. First off, hell was made for the devil and his angels. Hell was never meant for us humans, right? I need people to understand that your actions on this earth is what actually sent you to hell, because in heaven, there is only purity, there is only cleanness, right?
yes.
So that's why it's important for people to understand that you're not that far gone that God cannot reach out His hand spiritually and bring you out of a rut that you have been in, right? And He's not going to punish you for something that you're not consciously aware of. So there is always time. There is always time for redemption. And how you get to start? Just start. Just start. Just go down on your knees and, ask for forgiveness, ask for clarity, ask for understanding, and see how your life change. I promise you, your life will change, and change for the better. And that's the truth. That's the honest truth.
Yeah.
I try to give example of myself, and I always want to talk about this because people ask me why, how I am the way I am, and how I think or speak. Like how did I get to this point? And it didn't happen overnight with me. Like I haven't always been mindful, you know. I've been kind of selfish in my own ways. Just trying to do my own thing. I have a good time and be quite stubborn. But I feel like a necessary separation took place, i.e., Sweden, and be in an isolated state where it's like, okay, you get to find out who you really are. And this is where the darkness, we talk about being in darkness. It's not always darkness doesn't necessarily has to have a bad connotation behind it. Darkness is a sign of like isolation, So I had to be in that isolation chamber where I get to understand, okay, this is the truth. Have to be refined each and every single day in order for me to be better as a human being and know what the actual truth is. What the actual truth is. Once you know what the actual truth is, it's going to be painful at first, but as time goes on, you get to be refined, be renewed. Your mind gets to be renewed, right? You start having a stronger mind. Then you look at how the world is structured and how it's just building you up to be ignorant and just to self-gratify yourself and, uplift yourself and do this and do that and achieve this and achieve that. Being rich is not a sin, Having mansions or house cars, that's not a sin. But the idea of not acknowledging a creator behind all this, that's where the sin comes in, right? That's the important thing. People need to understand it's critically important to understand that there is a creator of all things and that there is a divine hand upon us, and it's just by his grace that we're able to still have our very being, and just basically giving us a time to come to him and understand him and who he is. And sometimes he will send people, unbeknownst to us, he will send us people who kind of lead him towards him. And that's kind of how people get to understand, okay, so this is what the truth is. Yeah, it takes time, but by God's grace, we are saved. You know? So, man, if God really treated us how we actually are, without a second guess, yeah, it would be a quick restart. The end. Yeah, the end. And it's like people be like, okay, well, if he knew all this thing was gonna happen, then why the pain? Why the suffering? Yeah, because of free will. People have the free will to. He's not gonna. That's the thing. That's what love looks like. Actual love gives you freedom. Love will tell you who they are, what they bring to the table. At the end of the day, you get to choose whether you want to be with that person. It's as simple as that. It's either you choose to be with them or you don't. And if you don't, that's fine. Keep it pushing. Because that's why when people say this, okay, why doesn't he just show himself? He shows himself each and every. The fact that you woke up today is a sign of God's hand upon it. I want people to know that. Like, right? It's like the miracles that take place. People who like had their visions obscured, or they haven't had a vision in years, all of a sudden they can see. Why? Because someone prayed over them and now they can see. People who couldn't walk, all of a sudden start walk. Like, there's just so much miracles that have happened. People died and come back from the dead. Like, I think you have the dark side too, right? Because if there's the lights, there is dark. And in the dark side,
Like Batman and Joker.
yep, you know who the people worship and who they have to, some people have to drink certain things from certain beings in order to, their belief system is, they live young and whatnot. This is their belief, right?
Yeah.
So you ponder, why does this exist? Why are there people who have this such strong belief? Because it's a tradition. It's a belief system from many years, and this is why a certain tribe were punished for years and years and years. Why? Because at some point, although it's in the time of Moses right now, right? Although they felt the power of God, literally, think about this. They were liberated from the hands of the Egyptians, right? And they saw the power of God. Literally saw the power of God. And Moses just left for was it like a day? And went up to get the commandments.
Yeah, exactly.
And a few hours later, these people are out here worshiping a golden calf. After all the miracles that God has blessed them with. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, it's a tradition that has been around for years. There are certain people who, I don't care what you think about this. There are people in this world who believe if they worship this goat, that their wealth, their life is secured. They are gonna be rich forever, and no one can tell them anything. That's fine. That's your choice. But at the end of the day, you make your bed. You're gonna lie on it. That is episode 4. Or Put on the Armor. Yeah. Appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate the support. And do you have any last words, man?
No, not really. I just want you guys to understand that, well, God is real. God sees everything.
Yeah, it's like acknowledgement. I mean,
Seriously.
the acknowledgement of a creator, you know. And I know, man. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I promise you, I know it's hard. Because like, what? There's a God? That's crazy. Why can't I see him? Well, it's the same thing with Moses, right? Why could it with Moses? Moses wanted to see God. But the essence, that's why he had to come into, and I want people to understand this real quick. That's why he had to come into a human flesh. Because if people actually saw God, God cannot be contained. He's a supreme being. He's a burning fire. He's a beam of light that can't be comprehended. So he had to shrink himself into the sinful flesh just so he could set a good example for us to follow.
And the sinful flesh is Jesus.
The sinful flesh was Jesus, right? So it's hard. It's hard, you know, because for me, I'm starting to realize, I'm starting to get stronger with the angel aspect of things, you know, and how they're here to protect us from the evil entities and whatnot. And it's hard. It's hard. It's faith. You know, you just have to have that faith of like, yeah, there is this supernatural world. I mean, the movies depict this multiple times. I mean, then you have to question, why did the movies depict this over and over? If this is gibberish, why do they keep doing this over and over and over? I know you have seen the movies. You know what I'm talking about, all the series. Right? Why do they depict this? What's the point of depicting this? You know, why do celebrities, why do they act the way they do, you know, on stage and whatnot? Why do they dress up like this? The devil is fake. You know, why the human mind, I need you to understand, the human mind would never lean on to something that is totally gibberish. You know? Because if it was gibberish, i.e. Zeus, although Zeus is the depiction of Lucifer, but why don't they lean more towards Zeus gimmick or whatnot, you know? But instead, they always have to have the horns and the demon entities and whatnot. There's power behind this, but that's what people need to realize, you know?
Yeah.
It's important, because then when you understand the spiritual aspect of things, then you get to understand, okay, what's going on in your physical life and how you can be able to handle things regarding a relationship with people. You get to see how people interact, and then you kind of like abstain from indulging in nefarious activities, because you know there are consequences behind each and every single action that you take as a I would say spiritual being living a humanistic experience, put it that way. So yeah, it's been awesome. I appreciate you, all of you listening to us, and until next time, see you and God bless. Much love.
Yep.
Bye.